Okay, first of all, I want to congratulate Hawaii. I thought that was their best game. Coming over here, that's always a difficult trip, and their quarterback played outstanding. Um, Coach Graham calls their defenses and had us off kilter, and they beat us in all three phases. One time I heard Lou Holtz said you bring a different football team to the stadium every Saturday. Um, Most of the time I disagree with Lou Holtz on a lot of things, but today I probably agree with him. It was really, it's probably one of our, I don't know if it was our worst performance, but it seemed out of step considering where we have been. So I have to take a look at myself and say, what kind of things did we do? Were we beat up after the Utah State game? I know Levi had been beat up, but what we did in practice this week, what kind of composition of our game plan, we certainly uh, didn't execute. I thought Hawaii made every play, not every play, but most of them. And so, um, we're going to lick our wounds. Hopefully, we have an opportunity to continue to play. Those decisions are not obviously made by us, but we're going to keep our ear low to the ground. I know this locker room is disappointed right now, but deep down inside, they want to keep playing. I think we have elements of being a good football team. We certainly didn't show it today. So, questions?
Greg, speaking of that Lou Holtz quote, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how can you explain the inconsistencies from world beater last week to what we just saw today?
I think you go call Lou Holtz up. I've coached long enough. I mean, these things, and I've been on a lot of things. I think I do not want to minimize their play, um, because to say that we just were horrendous and did everything else, I think discredits them. I thought Coach Graham did a great job with their guys coming in with their hard edge. They had a couple schemes that we hadn't seen defensively that got us off kilter. Um, and then I think the biggest thing was when the ball got thrown downfield. I don't know if there was a play that uh, we made in the back end. And so whether it's a combination of how much time we gave, but certainly when that ball was in the air, I mean, it was time and time again. They converted, even though, I mean, compounding everything, the play right before the end of the half. Over on offense, I thought if we could stay on the field, Cody, we would have a chance. I know that CSU wore them down. I want to say we meandered around probably the whole first quarter, trying to find any groove at all. We thought we'd be able to get some push with the running game. I thought their defensive line negated everything we did up front. Um, it was not a time we were running our power play where we got some movement or inside zone or some of our other base running plays, and so that made it really difficult for us. We created way too many third down and long plays, and so that's a major issue. I knew that they would be stout up front. I thought we would be able to knock them off the ball more than we did, and maybe that it was a false sense of security after last week. Utah State was undersized. These guys were big, strong. They were stumped off, and we couldn't move them. And so as a result, we had to start pushing the ball down the field. And, Cody, that's really not us. And so I think a combination of those two things. Um, and, to say that there was somewhat of a deer in the headlight look by our players, that's what I think our guys had a sense of confidence. We're doing this, we're doing that. And then all of a sudden it was like, wow. So, that's some things that I have to address as a head football coach. And, like I said, hopefully we have an opportunity to play another game, and to learn from this, because there's a lot of stuff on there. And I want to take a look at myself saying, why in the heck we weren't prepared? Because we weren't. And so if you want to come up with an answer, just say, hey, Coach Bowl didn't have very well prepared, because in the bottom line, that's what it was. And Coach Graham had that group prepared, and we got schooled up. So there you can put that in your quote.
Obviously, the last sequence of the first half was kind of a killer. When you got them in a 3rd and 14, did you think about calling timeouts and maybe trying to get the ball back? And then after they got the first down, what did you guys go over with?
Here's what, I was thinking all that. Now, we were off kilter on defense, Ryan, and I'm an old defensive guy, and at that time I was thinking, they're backed up, let's just get out of here, let's regroup. We've got to do some major adjustments at halftime. And so I thought, and when he's the quarterback, I think spun out and picked up the first down, I gnashed my teeth. I did call timeout with 4 seconds left, and the reason why was what I saw at that time. They were going to take a shot in the end zone, and we were not prepared for that at all. And so that's when I did call timeout. If anything kind of encompasses how the whole day went, it was a badass hair day. I mean, it was bad, and we got to move forward from it and learn from it.
Cordero had a big game for them. What's been the thing with these running quarterbacks kind of giving trouble for a defense that's been so dominant in other games?
Anytime you have a quarterback that has mobility, that really poses a major problem. And so a lot of the schemes that you come up with, when you're confronted with somebody like that, that's a real challenge. Now, today they did more predetermined quarterback runs than they had done all season. And I'm sure they looked and said, this is maybe their last game. They're coming over here. They're going to get the trophy back. He's a heck of a competitor, and he was on point. And sometimes I've learned through the years, when that quarterback is playing well on defense, you got to get him off rhythm somewhere. And we weren't able to do that. And so it always seemed like we were a one call behind. If we were playing coverage, he'd take off and run. If we were stopping the run, they're going downfield. And like I said, we got to take a hard look at ourselves, how we compose the game plan. But I do not want to sit up here and not acknowledge I thought they played well.
Craig, have you ever coached a team in your entire career that, I don't know if that's the right word, but maybe struggled to find their identity all the way this late, this deep in the season?
I don't think we found it. I don't think we struggled to find our identity. I think we found it. It went the way of the white buffalo today. But yeah, Cody, I've coached a long time. I've coached teams where we won one game, never found an identity. And what we have to realize is, every Saturday, 2 teams are going to show up, and they got great pride in what they're doing. And I was proud of some of our performances this year. I thought we played really well. And as well as what we played last week against Utah State, I think you can take it 180 degrees different, and played that poorly today. And so, like I said, I've coached 38 years, a lot of ups and downs. I think we've got to regroup and take a look at what we've done well and correct some of the things we did poorly.
Craig, you said you hope there's one more game, because a lot of teams, they either want it just to be over, they want to keep going. You get the sense that your players.
Yeah, and you know what, I do, Ryan. But if you go in there right now, there's some guys they're dejected, and also they're 18, they're 22-year-old guys. I don't know how you guys were. I know how I was. I'm confident that they want to play. They want to keep playing football, and I'm in hopes that we're given that opportunity. I can tell you this: I'm going to make a pitch. I think the Mountain West right now is the 6th rated conference in the country. We won all our non-conference games. We ran into a tough conference schedule. We've won 6 games. That qualifies us, and I think that arguably the toughest league, maybe better than some of the other ones that are out there above us. And we won 6 games. And so I think I'm in hopes that whoever those decision makers are in the unknown rooms look and say, it's a heck of a league. Wyoming's done some good things. It wasn't like Hawaii was bad. They won 6 games today too, and they beat Fresno. So it's college football. And to answer your question, I'm convinced young people will bounce back. There's a lot of resolve in that room and a lot of good men, and they want to keep playing football and represent Wyoming. Anything else?
You have some great seniors, but not a ton of them. How big would that be to?
What's this?
You have some great seniors, but not a lot of seniors. How big would that be to keep going for just the younger guys?
Well, there's a lot of benefits to playing the postseason play. There are some guys who, we introduced super seniors today. There are going to be some other guys that I'm going to have some conversations with. You know, they're looking, saying, I have my degree. I'm not going to play in the NFL. I've got a meaningful degree from Wyoming. I can go out and start making a good living. I'm going to get married. We have some of those guys. We haven't had some firm conversations on that. I know that they want to keep on playing. You know, because unlike other sports, when you take those pads off for the last time, it hurts. And our guys, they want to keep playing. I want to keep coaching them. And so there'll be some real benefit to giving guys an opportunity to keep on playing. And then the other thing I think is so important is we have a lot of young emerging players, and an opportunity to get some extra practices in and postseason play is something that's really important. And it won't be, you know, scrimmaging every day and hamburger drills and all that type of stuff. There'll be a lot of teaching moments, but you know, for guys who've been on the scout team to be able to go out and coach them, we've got some really, really good young players to give them that opportunity. And so that's why I'm in hopes that we're given this opportunity. So that's my pitch to you. Plus, if we play another game, you guys got some more stuff, more work to do, right? If this vote, you guys have a vote, yeah, I'm hoping you all vote to put us in there, all right? See ya. Yeah.
All right, we got Azizi here. Ryan, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
It's easy. What was your view of the Hail Mary and how devastating was it to give that up?
I was coming from the other side. They threw it away from where I was at, so I was getting there a little late. By the time I got there, he'd already caught the ball, and there's nothing you could do about it. At that point, they was blowing the whistle, so just had to keep going from there.
You think that play kind of zapped momentum a little bit? Y'all had y'all's first score just about a minute before that. It seemed like things were sort of heading in your direction before that one.
That for sure caused a momentum shift, especially because we was going into the half. We needed to end off on that touchdown or a stop, you know what I mean, and just get to the locker room and check the game plan over and all that. But that kind of threw everybody off, I feel like. But, like I said, it happened. So the big part was just about our response after that.
The secondary's been so good this year. A little surprised today about how successful Hawaii was at catching contested footballs.
Yeah, I was actually, and I was disappointed, you know what I mean? And it's always something to get better at, even when we're playing well or when we're not. So you just got to go back to the drawing board, man, and just go over everything back down to the smallest detail.
How do you I know there's no explanation, Craig didn't have one, but just nature of the season 4-0 to 6-6, dominating Utah State, getting it handed to you by Hawaii. Just how do you explain kind of that roller coaster?
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I feel like, at least for me personally, that I would say caused a lot of the losses. I feel like it has to be our preparation. Because like you said, we go dominate Utah State, we lose to Hawaii, how we just lost. We lose to New Mexico, you know what I mean, after, just winning the games we won. And the only thing I could think of is, like, it got to be the preparation, man, you know what I mean? We got to approach it better or something. I haven't figured it out, you know what I mean? There's too many things to think about, but I would say that's one of the main things. You got to take the preparation more serious every week, though, regardless of who the opponent is.
Did the talent level of the Hawaii receivers surprise you a little bit? I know for us, we were a little bit shocked seeing some of those contested catches there.
No, they didn't surprise me because I watched a lot of film on them. I know they had a good offense. They had a good team. And I knew they were capable of making those plays, you know what I mean? So it just comes down to who's going to make the plays when the ball is in the air or whatever. So, yeah, I wasn't surprised, no.
You talk about preparation. Is that you guys need to prepare better, or is that a coach thing?
I was saying that, like, that's something I, like, harp on for myself. So I'm thinking maybe our team needs to prepare better if we're, beating Utah State but losing to New Mexico. You know what I mean? So I feel like I was just like saying, I look at that personally, but I feel like it'd be good for everybody broadly. You know what I mean? Yes, sir.
You've played a lot of college football. Have you decided whether you're going to come back or just try to go the league?
I haven't made a decision on anything like that. I've been just focusing on finishing the year. I was focused on playing versus Hawaii this week, and now I'm focused on finding our opponent for the bowl game and then preparing for them. And then after that, I'll make a decision on what I'm doing. But right now, that's not priority. We still have games left, or a game left, God willing. So that's what I'm going to focus on right now.
What would that mean for you guys to play again and not end on this note?
Oh, it'll mean a lot. I think you'll see us go out and dominate a team like we should have done in a lot of our games. But that's the past. We learn from it to keep it moving. But it'll mean a lot to every single one of us, from the players to the coaching staff. So I think you'll see us go out there and dominate a team all week.
CZ Craig made a pitch that you guys do deserve a bowl game. In your opinion, why do you deserve a bowl game?
I feel like our team always fights. We never lay down. You know what I mean? We don't just let teams. You know what I mean? We don't have no quit in us. We're gonna keep playing to the end. You know what I mean? So, plus we lost some games we shouldn't have lost, but we won games that they didn't expect us to win as well. You know what I mean? I'd be surprised if we didn't get a bowl game. I feel like we deserve one as well, and I'm confident that we'll get one.
That's good with ZZ.
Thank all you guys. Y'all have a nice day. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
All right, Nick. Appreciate you. All right, Chad. I'll see you, bro.
See you.
All right, we got Chad here. Josh, why don't you go ahead?
Hey, Chad, Cordero had a big game for Hawaii today. Kind of a similar situation to Nick Nash at San Jose State. What's it been about these running quarterbacks giving trouble for a defense that's been so dominant the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think it's just it's almost a different look. It's hard to replicate quarterback running, especially scrambling in the pocket when in practice, just because we're not allowed to really tackle the quarterback or touch the quarterback. So I think it's just a different look that some guys we don't always get. And, they're athletic quarterbacks, and he was an athletic quarterback today, and he made the plays.
Chad, what are your emotions today? Bittersweet? I mean, you probably reflected on your time at Wyoming, or just bitter because of what happened?
Yeah, it's reflecting a lot. I think right now I'm just, a little disappointed in how the game turned out. But, overall, I'm just really appreciative towards the University of Wyoming and everything that I've gotten here, and it's kind of given me. And I think I'm still gonna need like the 24-hour rule really from this game, but overall, just really appreciative for everything.
Jim, you told me you'd take a little extra time today. Did you do that at the end of this one?
Yeah, a little bit. I was just kind of looking back on the field, and just talking with my family, really, and talking with some other players, and so I think that was definitely important to take in last time being a War Memorial.
Obviously, ahead into the NFL draft, for you, what would it mean to get that bowl invite and get one more chance to play with these guys?
Oh, it's huge, and I think that's what everyone on the team wants right now. I think everyone's in hopes that we will receive a bowl game, and personally, I think that we will. I just have a feeling that we will. But I think everyone wants to play. I want to play another game and on a high note.
Do you seniors feel like you've laid, the groundwork or the culture for, the next generation of guys to take it to the new level?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think, it even goes beyond me, and it's more so, guys like Garrett Crawl and Braden, Aiden, and all those super seniors that were here super long ago. I think they really laid it down because, when I came here, Wyoming was already a kind of winning team at that point. And so I think those guys really set it down, and I was able to learn from those guys. And I think other guys are able to learn from what I displayed this year and last year a little bit.
Chad, piggybacking off Ryan a little bit, what he asked is easy. How do you describe the ebbs and flows of the season and how you guys can go from what you did at Utah State to what happened today?
Yeah, I think overall it's just kind of, in my opinion, it's just a little disappointing just to have those highs and then have games where just super low. I mean, like today, just wasn't great. I don't really know how to describe where that comes in. I know Zizi talked about preparation. I think that for every person on our team, we can always look inward towards self. I can look at myself. I could have done things better today. And I think that's kind of just the biggest thing, is just to look inward about kind of what we did ourselves and how we could improve on that.
That's good.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. Thank you, guys.